Once upon a time, there was a sweet little girl who was loved by everyone who knew her. Her grandmother adored her most of all, and made her a beautiful red cloak with a hood. The girl wore it so often that everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her to take a basket of goodies to her grandmother, who lived deep in the forest. "Remember to stay on the path and don't talk to strangers," her mother warned. As Little Red Riding Hood skipped through the forest, she met a sly wolf. "Where are you going, little girl?" asked the wolf. Not suspecting any danger, she replied, "I'm going to visit my grandmother and bring her this basket of goodies." The wolf, being very cunning, devised a plan. "Why don't you pick some flowers for your grandmother?" he suggested. Delighted by the idea, Little Red Riding Hood wandered off the path to gather flowers, while the wolf hurried to her grandmother's house. The wolf arrived at the grandmother's house and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" called the grandmother. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," the wolf mimicked. Thinking it was her granddaughter, the grandmother opened the door, and the wolf pounced, locking her in the closet. He then put on her nightgown and cap and climbed into bed, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived, she noticed something was off. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have!" she exclaimed. "All the better to see you with, my dear," the wolf replied. "Grandmother, what big ears you have!" she said. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf answered. "Grandmother, what big teeth you have!" she said with growing fear. "All the better to eat you with," roared the wolf, jumping out of bed. Just as the wolf was about to grab her, a woodcutter, who had been passing by, heard the commotion and burst into the house. He quickly overpowered the wolf, rescuing Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. Grateful and relieved, Little Red Riding Hood promised never to stray from the path again. She and her grandmother enjoyed the goodies together, safe and sound. From then on, Little Red Riding Hood always remembered her mother's advice and was careful on her journeys through the forest.